Hello, everybody. This is Swarmlord39 from Almost Cool. I am here with Math Jazz.
Hello.
And Diermood.
Hello.
And we are back with another Stellaris stream. Now, last time was actually fairly uneventful, if I recall. There were a couple wars, but overall, it was rather normal.
No, but wars are not uneventful.
True.
Are you still in the middle of one versus the Bellissima Peace?
Yep, I am still. I was in the middle of finishing off my occupation of their territory. I had lost hold of one of the planets I'd conquered because one of his allies came in and dropped his armies on top of me.
Let us pause, then continue.
Yeah, alrighty.
Like I said,
Matt, you unpause it. There we go.
Like I said, I'm getting Ascension Theory this week, so I want to get that quickly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I'm getting Ring Worlds.
Right. Oh yeah, we're gonna have lag on this game. For those of you who are not aware, Matt Jess is actually currently out of town, so he is using a laptop for his
That's not true. I took my tower with me.
Oh, you are? Sorry, I thought you said you were using a laptop.
No. No, I'm
why
using
did you earlier? Sorry,
I said that I'd have to be using my parents' internet connection because I'm visiting them, and they don't have as fast an internet connection as I do.
Yeah, no, I thought it because you said you had to run off and grab a power cord for your laptop. That's why I was under the assumption you were using a laptop.
Oh no, I use a laptop to watch the live stream to make sure that I can interact with people that are chatting with me.
On a separate but similar note, Swarmlord, do you hear that? He's closer to me at the moment.
That's true.
It's meant to be double. It's meant to be a double entendre. Like, yeah, he likes me better. So totally lame, but I want to say it.
You can say it all you want.
I would, but people get annoyed.
Anywho, so for the dev diary for this past week, fairly simple. Just going over music. And it's gonna be fair. It's a fairly good track. They released the track called "Synthetic God."
Ooh.
It definitely has a lot of synth overtones and whatnot. Ah! My game crashed.
I paused the game.
Thank you.
A few seconds ago, but yeah.
That's just not cool.
No. What'd you do to piss off the game?
Okay. Pulled my stream back up. That is just totally not cool.
Yep.
I was just doing normal stuff, and it just crashed. So, while we go about jumping back in,
I believe you were talking about the dev diary.
Yes. So the dev diary.
Synthetic God. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it had a lot of It had a lot of the techie synth overtones, and definitely sounded very much like like you would have in a game involving mechanical beings. I'm gonna need. Why is it not letting me connect?
Because it doesn't like you, Doug.
Okay, this time I think it let me connect. Maybe. Oh gosh, freaking dang it. Math, is it showing up
Hello.
as me trying to join the game?
It does not show you as trying to join the game.
Nope.
I think Stellaris just crashed again.
It doesn't like you.
No, never mind. It didn't. It just gave me a connection failed error this time around instead of crashing. Oh my gosh. Okay. Come on. What the heck? This is ridiculous.
I see you now.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay, so, you said the dev diaries say that there's just being new music added?
No, well, they're adding in new music with the story pack, like they have for the Utopia expansion and the Leviathan story pack. He talked a bit about how he makes the music and finding the right tones that go along with his art style or his musical style and stuff like that. And it was decently interesting, but again, it was entirely about the music, and so there's not too much to talk about. Although, and this is entirely conjecture. People don't take what I'm saying as any sort of rule, or say that I have we have secret knowledge from the devs or anything like that. We're usually when they put out a dev diary involving music, then that means they are relatively close to releasing the story pack involved. I'm not getting any transfer save. I'm sitting here at 0.0%.
That's weird. And we're just sitting here waiting for players.
Also, there's the fact that why is it... Okay, you know what? Let's try removing that display capture. Ah! And now my stream is black.
We're blind.
Oh, I know why. It's trying to catch a totally different game that I tried recording something for, which, there we go. Okay. So it wasn't even, so it's been trying to capture my screen rather than Stellaris.
Loading then?
Well, now it's at 0.3%. Why is it going so slow? There shouldn't be anything that is, except for the stream itself, but the stream itself shouldn't be killing my internet this badly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, at least not that badly.
Crap. What is going on? I don't know what to do. I guess I could try restarting Stellaris again.
That's okay.
Okay.
Then.
Let's get it done.
Restarting Stellaris one more time. Sorry, guys. Hopefully this will be the last
No, you suck.
one. Oh, you shut up.
Good idea. Once I sound pissed off, ignore it.
Anywho, so while we're trying to load this up, do you guys want to talk about the Babylon 5 episodes that we watched this past week?
Yes. So, this week we watched, the first episode we watched was the Parliament of Dreams, which was the 5th episode in the first season.
I like that one.
I liked the Gakar plot that was going on, where he was trying to avoid being assassinated. But,
Oh yeah, that was enjoyable.
But they introduced a character, Catherine Sakai, and I hate her. The romance between Jeffrey Sinclair and Catherine Sakai is dumb, and I don't like it. Like, it sounded like a high school student trying to write a meta dialogue on romance. The conversation that the two characters had in the middle of the bar, it was just very off-putting, and I hate it.
Well, for what I know, not from personal experience, but from people I've met and talked to and all that, that is actually that is not an unrealistic situation to develop. That it is actually something similar to that. Similar to that is possible, and
no. Like, the romantic situation of, like, constantly running into the same person and, like, falling for them, but never having all of the, you know, them always being, like, you know, one of the two people always being in a relationship currently, or one of them having to move away just as a relationship is starting. Yeah, like, that's believable, but the conversation they have is just terrible. It's like,
I mean, the fact that they're both actually aware of all these and still going through with it, is that what you're finding?
Yeah, it's this meta aspect to it. It's like, oh, this is the point. What's that?
I was gonna say, so you've never looked at something, said this is a bad idea, and gone through with it anyway.
It's not even that. It's kind of like the writers were sitting down and saying, like, oh, you know what? We should have this kind of a relationship. And they're like, okay, so, you know, at the beginning of the conversation, one of them will mention, like, why are we making this mistake again? And then the person will respond with, like, oh, well, we've made this mistake several times. You know, like, it's like the writers sat down and wrote out their notes for what they wanted the conversation to get through. And then the actors acted out their notes rather than the actual lines, you know? The lines just weren't polished. It was kind of like someone got the Cliff Notes version of the conversation and read that instead of reading the actual lines.
It's Stormlord. Is it loading?
Yeah, it's loading slowly, but it's going.
Okay.
But that's how every conversation with Sinclair and Catherine seemed. Yeah, sorry, Sinclair and Sakai seemed in this episode was like, oh, the writers either, like, I guess they didn't have time to actually, like, flesh out lines, so they just had the characters say, oh, this is the line where I say this. Oh, this is the line where I say this. And instead of actually saying the lines. And it felt really weird and strange to me. It didn't feel like a conversation between humans. It felt like, again, it felt like someone picked up a script that was written by, you know, a middle schooler or a high schooler who was, like, you know, jotting down their ideas of what they wanted the scene to be, but didn't actually get through to writing the thing.
I can relate to that.
I didn't feel like that at all. Maybe that's because personally, I feel like conversations can sound like you're reading off notes. I feel like personally conversations can in fact be basically, look at us, we're doing the exact same thing over and over again. This is exactly everything we go through. I've had conversations like that, not about romance, but I've had conversations like that if you looked back on the conversation, you'd think, oh, did someone just pick up this script? Did someone just pick up this pile of notes and start reading them off?
Sounds like every D&D game ever.
See? But point is that maybe to you it felt awkward for that because for some reason. I personally think that depending on the people involved, that could be a natural conversation. That scene has never felt stilted or unnatural to me. So, anyway, we're focusing a little too much on that part.
The other plot was, of course, the Gakar assassination one, where G'Kar gets a message at the beginning of the episode, and it's from someone from Homeworld saying, "Hey, remember that time you did this terrible thing to me? Well, I just died, and I've, in my will, left all of my money into hiring an assassin to kill you." And the rest of the episode is G'Kar trying to avoid being assassinated and trying to figure out who's trying to assassinate him. And there's a fight at the end that's the climax of the episode, where G'Kar and his assistant take down the assassin, knock him out, wait for the time limit to go up on the assassination, because the original note said you will die within X number of hours, and
I think it was 48 Earth hours.
Yeah, I think it was 48 Earth hours, and so they waited for the 48 hours to go by, after which they deposited a sum of money into the assassin's account and framed him for not following through with the assassination, which is a violation of the assassin's contract, and would make the other assassins in his guild kill him for not following through with the contract. Yeah, well, not ethical. Well, I guess in a weird, in a blue and orange. Yeah,
breaking their code of honor.
Yeah, these assassins, they make their livelihood off of assuring that they will kill their target, and so for one of the assassins in the guild to accept a bribe and not kill the target means that their reputation goes down. So they framed him for that and told him, hey, get on the next ship, leave, hope you don't get assassinated by your compatriots.
And the part that made me love that part in particular was the cheery attitude that they have while telling him the situation.
Oh, yeah.
I liked where they repeated the line back to him, because the assassin had these great, dark, brooding lines. One of them was, you will know pain, then you will know fear, then you will die. And so, as they're putting the assassin onto the shuttle to fly away and hide for the rest of his life, G'Kar says, "First you will know pain." Yeah, he's waving and smiling and saying, "First you will know pain," and the assistant goes, "Then you will know fear," and then G'Kar says, "And then you will die." Bye, and it's like almost the same body language and happy tone as you'd see on like a kids' children's show, which was hilarious to me. But
first you'll get this puppy, then you'll get this kitten, and then you will be happy.
Yeah, I mean that was the tone that was used.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
I enjoyed it.
Yep. Then next one, I'm blanking on the name. Either of you remember the name of the next one? I'm blanking.
The next episode was called Mind War, and it introduced some of the politics back on Earth between Psycor and Earth Force.
That and, psionics in general.
Yeah.
But basically, was there a side plot in this one?
Let's see.
I think it primarily focused on the mind war.
Yeah, I don't remember there being I don't remember. It was a couple days ago, so.
Just to go back one episode, the Parliament of Dreams episode.
Oh yeah.
You forgot the other plot.
What other plot?
The religion.
Right, wasn't that right? The religion subtext.
Oh yeah. So the Babylon 5 station has a holiday where every
it was an event that they had.
Right. They had a holiday. They had a vacation. They had an event where every one of the species got to have a time period allotted to them to show off the major religion or belief system of the planet. And so we see the Centauri have a feast, and the Minbari have some ceremony with lots of bells and stuff like that, and the There are a few other ceremonies that go on, but at the end of the episode, they have the Earth ceremony, where they have a line of people, and Sinclair goes, "This is so-and-so, he's an atheist. This is so-and-so, he's a Roman Catholic. This is so-and-so, he's an Orthodox Jew." And they go down the line and introduce a whole bunch of different religions. And it was pretty touching.
And then the screen fades out, the line just continues and continues. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, like, I know it makes it so much easier to write, but Earth is always the only planet, humans are the only species, and Earth is the only planet that ever has multiple ideas about anything. Like, all Vulcans are this religion that follows Sarek, or whatever the name of the guy is. And all Klingons do this, and all Minbari do that, and all, and even going back to, like, D&D, like, all elves are like this, and all dwarves are like that. And humans are the only ones that have variation. And, I mean, aside from, like, every once in a while they'll say, "Oh, there's such and such separatist group," and then it's, like, never mentioned again after that episode in these sci-fi shows. So it's kind of strange. But
I mean, it was also kind of a good way to address that fact, that it's almost always humanity.
You know what we should do? We should write our own sci-fi.
and we should have hundreds of different languages and religions for the aliens.
And you will make the languages, and me and Stormlord will work on the religions.
I'll make the what?
You'll be doing the languages.
Oh, I don't know how to write languages.
Me neither.
Yeah.
How's it going there?
Slightly over 25%. It's loading really slowly, and I have no idea why. Math.
Just to go back to what you're saying about the Mind War episode, by the way, there was
I recalled the subplot. I think I recalled the subplot.
With what's her name?
Sigma 359 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the second episode, the Mind War episode, which we were just getting to.
Which we were getting to before I threw back out that other plot.
Before we remember the other plot point. Math, is there something going on that's, like, slowing down your internet? Because I don't know why I'm getting the transfer so slowly.
I can stop live streaming, and maybe that'll speed up the show for you. So
maybe, but I'm not sure if that would actually. It's just we've been sitting here for like almost 20 minutes since I first crashed, and I haven't been able to get back into the game.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stop live streaming for this week because of the lag issue. But everyone that's watching my channel, go watch Swarmlords. He should be easy to find,
or watch Math Jazz's later. Maybe he'll record it.
Maybe
instead of live streaming, it is easier on the computer.
Yeah. Okay. Well,